Hello and welcome to Gimmickast, where our only gimmick is that we don't like snakes, especially ones that float in the graveyard and come out the sky like snake rain.
It's very forced.
Yes, it is. I'm in pain.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, just you could have done a parody of It's Raining Men, but it's
It's
Snake Rain.
it's
It's
raining
raining snakes.
snakes. Hallelujah. Anyway, I got something I want to bring up before we start this into the Yu-Gi-Oh news and all that. Mainly, I want to apologize for something. So yes, I'm going to get very serious very fast. So if you follow me on Twitter, you may have noticed I was mentioning on the podcast last week about traps. Yes. Um, Pretty much, I want to apologize for not being well informed and not thinking the word trap could be offensive. So I'm sorry that I thought it was a shit post, and I'll try to be more well informed in the future.
Yes, well, I I wanna. I guess I also feel apologize for that as well, but at the same time, mine was a different view, so I'm not 100% sure if that's me being ignorant or just me viewing the whole thing in a different light. So sorry, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, it was kind of like, well, I guess I did kind of just misinterpret it because I'm kind of just I don't mind being called a trap. So if people want to call me a trap, I don't fucking care. I think trap is a much better term than the more socially accepted term femboy. But that's society now. You can't change it.
Yeah.
But yes, another interesting thing was the fact that um, when I was considering like, can I be called like homophobic if I think trap if I think if I think trap isn't offensive, and then that kind of just led me down this road of where I want to find out what is my actual gender. And yeah, so I'm just gonna say this now. I'm gonna come out as bi gender. I told Ethan this already, but I thought I would put it on a podcast. So there you go.
Yeah, no, it's very like especially when I was listening to his discovery of all these genders, and I'm like, I don't know.
I know it's weird, but it's like I just was able to find this one website, and I was like, oh, here's the first result by gender. That sounds correct.
My whole thing is like, I don't know enough about this stuff, and like you asking questions, and I was just like, I don't know.
I don't know. You know, it's fine. But yes, I'm bi gender. And yeah, I mean, I already kind of updated the avatar, so the background is the flag for bi gender. It's not that different from
Yeah,
transgender though.
no, the flags all kind of look the same, to be honest. The only difference is the colors. So, I mean, I think someone should get on that and fix that, because that way it'll make it easier to recognize what is what,
Hmm.
especially for people who aren't as informed, like me.
Yes.
Like the only reason I know what it stands for is because you talked about it, and I was like, ah, mm,
Yeah. I mean, I'm barely that informed as well, so I'm gonna have to keep digging in and informing myself. But yes, anyway, uh, that's everything. I think that's all I want to talk about before we get into Yu-Gi-Oh news. So, all right, let's talk about what we teased at the intro. Abyss.
abyss.
All you need to know is like the light and dark reptiles with graveyard effects. So
Yes, which means also chaos can work with this dark tag.
chaos. Sorry.
I mean, it's not
Sorry,
like
I just wanted to say it.
as you pointed out in one of my episodes, which hasn't aired yet, but we can always redirect them back to this podcast. Um,
Yes.
like there are better decks to use chaos with, but like still, I always like pointing out the fact that it's a light and dark archetype and that chaos works.
Yeah, chaos. Sorry, I just really like saying chaos.
Can I just say though, like, just off topic, Chaos, the names for the Chaos monsters are all really baller monster names.
Hmm.
Like, where's a good example? Hang on, I'm gonna get a good example up. Chaos Emperor the Dragon of Armageddon, Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End, Chaos Dragon Leveneer, Okay, wait. The newer support is less creative, but like Chaos King Apocalypse.
Yeah, but
Uh,
you know the DDD boss monsters are better.
yeah, their names are just outs. I just like it. It's like they're such metal names. Like if you they any one of them is a good name for a band.
Hmm.
Like that's the type of names they have. Except for the newer support, which is just the Chaos Creator or Chaos Dandir, which is boring.
Hmm.
Anyway, moving back to topic.
Oh yes, snakes. Okay, let's go.
I'll start.
Oh, okay, thank
Null
God.
Degrade of the Abyss. Light reptile effect monsters 0/0 attack points. Reptilians! You can only use this card effect first and second once per turn. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, send one dark reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. So, double double setup. Nice already. If you control the monsters or you control an abyss monster, you can special summon this card from graveyard, banish it when it leaves the field. You cannot special summon monsters while this card is special summoned by this effect in the monster zones except reptile monsters. I do like that it's a soft restriction. So if, as soon as you get rid of it, you can do your other things.
Hmm.
I do like that, but at the same time, meh. Oh, you want to do the next one?
Oh, okay.
We'll go light, dark, light, dark. How about
Yeah.
that?
Nihil, Drake of the Abyss. So level 4, this one has 2000 defense, and then send this card from your hand to the graveyard, send one light reptile from your deck to the graveyard. Yet this deck is really just asking to be played in chaos.
Oh, it is absolutely, especially since like that's two cards now that double send, which is immediate setup,
If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Abyss spell trap from your deck to the hand.
which is good because most chaos cards don't actually use.
They're normal summons, because they
Yeah,
can't be
which means
normal summoned.
yeah, so you can almost summon this thing, search out your spells and traps, and then move on to other things.
Mm.
Moving on, Pelogi Haze of the Abyss. Um, it's an 18. It has 18 attacks, so no reptile support, no reptilian support. Who, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard or summoned from the graveyard, you can target one face-up monster on the field, control, and one monster in your their graveyard, equal or higher attack. Special summon the target in your opponent's graveyard, and if you do, send the target they control to the graveyard,
Hmm.
which is an interesting piece of removal. But it works against things that don't have original attack. Things like Appaloosa can be forcibly removed from the field,
Hmm.
as long as it's a higher attack monster, which you could probably just get rid of via other attack
Until they
eh,
chain negate.
until they chain negate, yeah. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one card from your hand to graveyard, add this card to your hand. So recovery and sets up plays.
Hmm.
Moving on,
Yep. Oh yes. We're up to okay. Zoha, Haze of the Abyss, level 4, 15. Yeah, pretty decent stats. If this guy is sent from the field to the graveyard or special summon from the graveyard, you can have your opponent draw one card, and if you do, add one Abyss monster from your deck to the hand, except for Zoha, and then each player sends a card from their hand to the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, send one card from your hand to the graveyard to add this to your hand.
big recovery.
Big recovery.
I do like that though they have the ability to either when it's sent from the field, so you can do it from link plays and stuff like that, but also like you have like it also has that one if it's special from the graveyard, it also activates. It's nice and interesting.
Hmm. Hmm.
Moving on to Cursed Dawn of the Abyss. light reptile with 400 attack and 2400 defense. If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute one monster to special summon this card, then your opponent can special summon one monster from their graveyard, but its effects are negated. If the card is special summoned, you can target one level 4 or lower Abyss monster and you go to special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. Which is where your normal, this is basically your main playmaker. Because what you do is with Haze and Zora, no, Pelog and Zora, you send this to the graveyard for their effects. Then you tribute them to special summon this out of the graveyard, and then summon them back. Instant link plays.
Huh. Okay. My my deck building sensors are tingling. I'm gonna call it that from now on. Alright.
Every time you have a good idea,
Deck
my
building
deck
sin
building senses are
sensors.
tingling.
Just yeah. Be to make the DXT sensors. My DXT. No, I have to find something better. My femboy sensors.
What?
Okay, yeah, we'll find something. Next one is Aleph Dusk of the Abyss. So if this card is in your graveyard, tribute one monster, special summon this card, and then your opponent adds one monster from their graveyard to their hand. If this card is special summon, you can target two of your banished monsters, including at least one reptile monster, return them to the graveyard.
I think the banished effect is for a card later on.
I mean,
I think.
these,
Oh no, because
because
they had
yeah, they
no
banished
wait no
themselves. Remember, they banished
no
themselves if they're special summoned.
no they're not.
Yes, you do. Did you not read the last card?
No, cause
Yeah, because that one.
no that doesn't banish itself. The only one that banishes itself so far is the first one, null.
Yeah, Null does, and then Curse does it as well.
Is it?
Yes, you
Oh, we'll
just
get
read
well,
it.
no it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It says right there.
Oh yeah, but banishes it when it leaves. Ah, but it's not itself. It banishes the other one. Yeah. Okay,
It
never
doesn't
mind.
matter. Anyway, alright.
Okay, it's got recovery, but you don't really play this one, I don't think.
Mhm.
Okay, Aaron, King of the Abyss. Yeah, King. If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute two monsters special summon this card. Your opponent adds a card to. If your opponent adds a card to their hand, you can send one random card in their hand to the graveyard. Oof. If a monster your opponent controls is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add one light or dark reptile monster from your deck. Wait, so if you hit a monster after they search something, you get a free search as well.
Mhm.
That's that's dumb. Why does that exist? Okay, that's a fun card. That's what I'm gonna call it. Moving on.
Alright. Amusinia, Queen of the Abyss. So if this card's in your graveyard, you can contribute two monsters, special summon it. If a monster is special summoned from your opponent's graveyard, you can send one card they control to the graveyard. If a monster is sent from your opponent's hand from deck to the graveyard, you can special summon one light or dark reptile from your graveyard, except for this card.
This is very anti. The king and queen have very anti like meta deck vibes going on.
Very specific anti-meta deck vibes.
Yes, but it's very interesting. I like it. Um, it's definitely going first if you're playing the king and queen, I think.
Hmm.
Moving on, last monster.
Oh
Ob
yeah.
Odabis, deity of the abyss. If this card is in your graveyard, you tribute three monsters, special summon this card once per turn while it's face up on the field. Quick effect, you can send all monsters on the field to the graveyard except face up monsters that were special summoned from the graveyard. This is good because most meta decks don't special things out of the graveyard at the end of their board. So this is definitely the going second card here.
Yeah.
Um,
If you go uninterrupted.
I mean, Snake Rain.
Oh yeah.
Because Snake Rain, you can use Snake Rain to bait out the Ash Blossoms, and then you just use all the level 4 effects and you'll set up Graveyard easy. No problem. because
Hmm.
they're all in-hand effects, which there's not enough negation to out the in-hand effects. Because most face up on the field effect negation. Most extra deck monsters.
Hmm.
They, they're hard to get around. They can be stopped, but they're hard to get around.
Ah,
Okay,
then.
moving on to the field spell.
Depths of the Abyss. If face up, reptile monsters you control is drop a bell or opponent's card effect, you can target one card your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. And then if this card in your field zone is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can send cards from the top of your opponent's deck to the graveyard equal to the number of reptile monsters of different names to your graveyard. This is a very useless field spell. Moving on.
No. The first bit is useful because it's opponent's a by battle or opponent's card effect, right? When it's destroyed. Crawlers had a similar field spell, and that was pretty devastating.
You know, I mean, those had better effects put on top of it.
I know, but like, the field zone destruction is nice. It, I know, I understand why it's here. It's like it's sort of a punish for trying to blow up the field spell.
Hmm.
But yeah, there are definitely better field spells in the game. But at the same time, considering this archetype only has one spell, you're playing this at 3.
Hmm.
I'm wrong.
Hmm. No, maybe I don't know.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Emptiness of the Abyss. Sounds like vanity is emptiness, to be honest. Um, you can only use this effect card's name once per turn. Already a bad thing to have on a continuous trap. During the main phase, you contribute one reptile monster and you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field, but send it during the end phase. If this face up card is in spell trap zone is sent to the graveyard, send all phase up non-reptile monsters your opponent controls to the graveyard. Ouch. That's interesting. It's interesting, but it has to be face up. But then again, it is a trap card, so if they MST it, you can just flip it face up. But also Combat Smoke Cyclone exists that banishes it instead, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this continuous trap. Like,
Hmm.
it does some nice fun things, but eh. And I mean, we do still have Trap Trick. No, wait, Trap Trick only works on normal traps, doesn't it?
Yep.
Ah, never mind. Moving
Uh,
on to the normal trap.
hmm. Special summon two Abyss tokens. Oh, great. If you have 8 or more Abyss monsters of different names in your graveyard, apply this effect instead. Special summon two Reptile monsters of different name from your graveyard. That's better. The second effect is better.
Yes, and the little.
Tokens. Jesus.
I mean, this deck doesn't have any extra decks monsters, so I think it's gonna go for link plays mainly.
Hmm.
So the
Dark
tokens
Reptile.
would be worthwhile. Because nothing in here locks you into reptiles except for that one level 4, but once it leaves the field, it's done. That's the whole archetype, by the way.
Yep. Whole
They have,
whole archetype.
they have like no spells, but I don't think they need spells to play, which is nice. I don't know. Abyss seems alright.
Yes, and my deck building sensors are telling me to splash this with some Fabled.
I want to splash it with some chaos and see what happens.
Okay then.
You do the fabled, I'll do the chaos, and then we'll reconvene.
Yeah, I need to try that new Fabled support anyway.
As much as it's terrible, I think, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
whatever.
I can't even remember what they do.
I think it's terrible, but that's my opinion.
Oh,
It could be bonkers. Like when I originally looked at Majesties when they first were revealed, like I didn't expect them to do things with as you've shown me.
God, I don't know what do we have to talk about Majesty? Is
Can we
this?
just talk about the main card that makes them broken?
Yes, please. We'll talk about the main card that makes them broken and their new boss monster.
Yes, because the rest of it is kind of inconsequential. Because yes, it's Majesty support, but these are the two important ones, really. Starting off with Stardust Trail, the Light Dragon, already in a bad position. Um, Level 4, if this card is in your hand or graveyard and a monster you control is tributed, doesn't specify what type of tribute. You can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves field. If a Warrior Synchron or Stardust Synchro monster is synchro summoned using this card as material, you can special summon one on Stardust Token.
Huh.
Okay, everyone can see where this is going, I
Yeah.
think. Move regard to Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, which is a Wind Dragon Synchro effect monster at level 11 with 4,000 attack and 3,300 defense. Once per turn, you can negate the effects of one face-up one effect monster your opponent controls. For each Stardust, second effect, for each Stardust and each Synchro monster that specifically lists that card in its text in your graveyard, you can make one additional attack this turn. This is not hard because um, once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can banish this card until the end phase, and if you do negate the activation, if you do banish that card.
Huh.
Now, how it all works is that you,
Yeah. Uh.
yeah,
Uh.
you
I
know
don't
why
like it.
Trail is so good? Because Xyz happened.
Yeah, Xyz is lovely.
Yeah, it's a rank 4 enabler. You go into the rank 4 after you revive it, and then send it to the graveyard, and you can use its effect again.
Xyz.
That doesn't banish itself.
Hmm.
That's stupid. All of this is stupid. I hate it. Moving on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it for the Stardust. I just don't want to talk about the rest of this thing.
Yeah, it's too like the rest of it is okay, but Trail is what blows the thing out of the water, especially with TG Hyper Librarian still being legal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got the first card of the Demicord series, Demicord Couriera, which is the Wind Fairy Pendulum effect monster with pendulum scale of 1, level 8, and it's 2,700 and 2,500. Pendulum effect. When you pendulum summon a Demicord pendulum monster, you cannot your opponent cannot activate monster effects, spells, or traps, so you can't negate the pendulum summon. Which means you need to have to preemptively hit the pendulum scale,
Yeah.
which we all know is not going to happen.
Oh.
No, because here's the thing. Think of it this way: if they just preemptively hit the pendulum scale, they just reset, and then they get their pendulum summon. So,
Shit.
monster effect. You can only use this card's name. Its second and third effects once per turn. Uh, First effect, you can special summon this card from your hand by attributing 2 pendulum monsters. I don't know what that will serve, but we'll see what happens. Second effect, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of your opponent's turn. If you have a odd number of pendulum scales in your pendulum zone, you can target 2 cards instead. Basically, if you have a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11
Hmm.
in your pendulum scales, you get a double negate. Um, Third effect, when the effect of a monster on the field with less attack than attack less than or equal to 300 times the highest pendulum scale you have in the pendulum zone, quick
Hmm.
effect you can destroy that monster. So I'm assuming because this is the level 8 that their highest pendulum scale will be 9.
Oh.
So what's 9 times 3? That's, hang on, let me think. No, 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 no. 2-8.
Oh, okay then.
That's pretty decent actually. Well, think of it this way. 2-8 covers most of extra deck, problematic extra deck monsters.
Hmm.
The only ones it doesn't really hit are, I think, Savage Dragon and any of the like dragon types that have like 3k or more. But at the same time, like most people can't summon them for the most part, unless they're playing a rocket package. So,
Package.
package.
Yeah, package.
Package. Yeah, I get it. Stop. I mean, pretty good boss monster?
It's alright.
I don't know what. Well, here's the thing. I don't really know what the rest of the archetype does, so I assume it will have something to do with tributing and um odd scales. So
Probably, yeah.
we'll have to see what they do. But considering that this is a one scale, it's still already pretty good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's the end of the Yu-Gi-Oh news.
Yeah, you know what? If with like all the themes, well, we haven't seen the full Derme Ray Cord deck, but I think with all the themes of the deck builder set built, like, what is our general opinion of Ancient Guardians?
Lackluster. Like
Oh,
Abyss, good, good, but like
yeah,
the only
bad
cool,
deck.
like, and like Ursatica is what they're called now.
Oh yeah.
But they don't really play at all because they rely too heavily on unsearchable cards,
Mhm.
pretty much. Because like a lot of their cards are just not searchable, and like even if you pumped the deck full of draw power, it just doesn't work, which is annoying. But at the same time, meh. But then we have those are the only good things in here so far. And just assuming through my assumptions what Demicord will be like, I'm like, there'll be a fun pendulum strategy, but they won't knock my socks off.
Yeah. What kind of themes we're hoping to see in the next deck builder set?
Themes, I have no idea, honestly.
I
The actual themes are okay. That's something that the deck builder sets have always done really well. Is their themes, regardless of if the decks in them are playable, their themes have always been interesting. But I don't know. This is definitely this these I like the where they're going with the whole reinvention thing, where they're trying to play like mechanics in different ways. Like Earthstick's mechanic is very fun because of the whole level difference thing. But like again, they're kind of held down by the fact that you need to go into multiple things and search things and blah blah that they can't do.
hmm.
And I do like the reinvention thing, like and this doesn't really fall under that category, but I think Demicord does because they're actually focusing on the scales more than they are in what other Pendulum decks did. So I do like this line of thinking, just the only problem is that the archetypes that that they've created so far that are under this reinvention belt are just not very fun. Well, no, they're fun, they're just not very playable because they do need a lot of cards, and I think this set in particular definitely needed a playtester phase before they just released it the way they've done it.
Hmm.
Because it really feels like Ursatic was not tested. Like
Yeah, I haven't really seen anyone play them yet.
I tried to make their deck work, but like if I know what they want to do, but it's just there's no way to accomplish it. Like it's just not reasonable.
Are you saying the deck is bullying you?
No, it's a deck that I've thrown away because it's just fucking useless. Oh, and their typing doesn't help either. They're level 7 and 8 Beast Warriors, which has already got nothing supporting it.
Hmm.
Even the water typing barely scrapes them by because they get access to what Salvage and Moray of Greed.
Moray.
Moray of Greed is great,
I
but
love
like
Moray.
I do want to keep the reinvention ideal, how they're reinventing ways to play a certain mechanic.
Hmm.
It's definitely fun to see them come out. It's just they're not doing a very good job of it.
Yeah, and then you have me, who's like, I mean, I'm honestly going into the next deck builder set. I want to see a deck of like I want to see like a rank 4 spellcaster deck.
That's
That before you say it's Magitus, it's not. Magitus is not a proper XYZ deck.
no, it's not. I didn't wasn't going to suggest match, just um, but like, yeah, I guess a
Yeah,
rank 4 spellcaster deck would be cool, I guess.
yeah, like because there's one card that was printed like all the way back in Cosmic Blazer. It's Alchematic Magician, and that card is absolutely unsummonable because it requires you like three spellcaster monsters of level 4 to summon it.
Yes,
I mean, you
there
can,
are
yeah,
there are actually a lot of rank 4 spellcasters that don't have things to actually make them good.
like,
Like,
yeah,
they just need a rank 4 spellcaster deck.
yeah. I
It
mean,
could be generic for all I care.
the best way to summon it right now is the genie to rank up into it with Phantomite rank up magic launcher
Which
because
is
it's
dumb.
dark. Yeah, but
Which is dumb.
yeah, but it's like it's a card that has no like its a counterpart down note has been summoned more times than it. Because
Yes.
how are you gonna get like 4 spellcasters of level 4 on the field to summon Alchematic?
You're not. Like, I think it's literally impossible unless you can somehow, Inferno Reckless summon out three of the level 4 Dark Magician girl.
I think the best way to put to do it is probably just play Pen the Magician, but
They have better XYZs, that's the problem.
exactly. You have there's much better plays you could be doing if you're playing Pendulum Girl. Yeah, it's I mean I guess the other alternative is play it in Familiar Possess, but that's awfully slow, and you're mainly gonna be relying on your familiars to be special summoned for the XYZ plays.
Which, none of them are spellcasters.
So obviously, um, yeah, but it has a very useful effect that I'm actually going to read right now that I think could have some use. So this card gains 200 attack for each spell card in the graveyard. Then once per turn, during your end phase, you can touch one XYZ monster, XYZ material from this card, and send a card from your hand to the graveyard. Choose a spell card in your deck and set it in your spell trap card zone.
That is very interesting.
So if I so this is probably going into custom card ideas, but if I wanted to make Alchematic Magician work, it would ideally be something close to Witchcrafters, but the set without the gimmick of the spell cards being able to recycle themselves.
Yeah, like
Like,
it
hmm,
have like a rank like all level 4 spellcaster deck that synergizes with their spell cards,
yeah,
and then
it works with the
and then
spell
have
cards, yeah, and some of them are quick plays while we're at it. So there's a reason you can. So there's a use to this card as well, setting it.
mm, have them be some have them be like sort of some like minor effects, but like have but they become stronger stun options during your opponent's turn. Things like just adding a K attack points, which by the way is still a useful strategy somehow.
Hmm.
Just there's not a lot of decks that pull it off because they can't do things like what Alchemist Magician does. So like yeah, yeah, no, it would work like that. I would
Yeah,
want to see something like that.
yeah,
Be interesting.
yeah. That's just a thought. Please, Konami, make this card useful. It's been sitting in my binder for years, and I want to justify the $20 I paid for it.
That's right, 'cause it's got like $20 price tag because
I
of
don't, yeah, I don't know why. It's
because
unusable.
I don't know, fanfare. I think maybe.
I just got it because I wanted the storyline in my folder.
Yes, because you go after storylines, whereas I go after things like collective collections, like the planets and numbers.
I mean, there's also like I got collections. I obviously have the Egyptian God collection. I'm collecting the kaiju's now as well, and all the Sky Striker stuff.
Yes. It's very fun and interesting collecting. Anyway,
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
think we should move on. Since we're still on the topic of Yu-Gi-Oh, we'll go to that rant instead of the next one.
okay, yep.
Yes. So let's explain the situation. Zane has binged watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens up to date over the weekend.
It
So
smells.
before I get into the rant, we're gonna go talk to Zane about his opinion of the show so far.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, definitely enjoying it. Except there's definitely characters who get massively grating, like that fucking alien piece of fucking shit. I can't believe she came
I
back. Why is she a recurring character?
Well, that's the thing. They're technically two characters.
No, they're
So,
not. They're the same.
well, they're on their cast thing. They're still treated as two different characters. I don't know. I I know they have the exact same design, but I don't know what's happening there. Maybe there is a deeper plot that they will go into with that.
Yeah, but reminder, Ethan, they're aliens. Why is there aliens in in this series to begin with?
Well, the first one said they were aliens. The second one said they were from underground. So, again, there's
But then she
it's just
returned home. So, I don't know.
both of them returned home, and it was confusing. I don't know. I I I want to say that like there's a factory somewhere making them and then programming them to think they're different things. I want to say that, but at the same time, I just don't know.
That is the most stupidest thing possible, and it may be actually viable.
I mean, let's be fair. So, obviously, you have opinions on each of the characters. So,
Opinions.
what do you think of our core cast?
Well, well. I mean, I like Roman. That's about it. Yeah.
See, I like Roman the least at the moment.
Yeah, well, she's the only one that plays a deck I care about.
Well, my whole thing with Roman is that like I don't know, the story just seems to sideline her too often that I don't really care that much about her. Like, she's definitely an interesting character. It's just like I haven't seen enough of her doing her own thing to really care. Whereas like a Gakuto, I can be like, ah, yeah, I get behind this loser.
Oh god.
Gakuto is just me a lot of the time.
Oh
Like,
yeah, you even play Fiendish Commanders.
no, I don't.
Yes, you do.
But like, he really is like just he just unnecessary comments on the side of every single little um what else does he do? He has this obsession with trying to get everything to work properly. Definitely me.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my god.
Also he's generally just funny. Like, th- like normally I would just skip like through like side character dialogue, but then there's him, and
Yeah.
he makes side character dialogue actually funny and enjoyable to listen to. Because in most Yu-Gi-Oh, it's just regurgitating what people have said. Like that's what it's been for the last few seasons.
Yeah.
I think even 5Ds and GX did it. Like,
Yeah. 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 I definitely remember that.
yeah. So like having side character dialogue being enjoyable to watch and listen to is just like this is fresh. This I like this. Um, but he's definitely not my favorite character. At the moment, Neil is my favorite character, though he is not developed at all. I admit to that. It's just there's a lot of intrigue surrounding Neil that makes things interesting because like he ties so heavily into the plot and he like his existence creates a bunch of questions. Like one, like first one is one, how is how does maximum summoning actually work in the context of the game? Like we know how it works like in the rush doors, but like how did you make this? Like it like he programmed it in, but like where did you get the actual cards? It just and then like he's talking to like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, the secret of maximum summon is down there." And it's like, wait, what? So wait, you didn't even? you didn't even fully you programmed it, but you didn't actually make the cards yourself.
Yes.
So I'm like, uh, uh, what's happening? I want to know more. Like everything he says is just interesting and has some mystery or element plot to the show, and it's like I want to know more. I just want to see more of this character because he pushes the plot so far forward. I start questioning things. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so he's currently my favorite character just because like everything he does is intrinsically tied to the plot. It's just entertaining and curiousness,
Hmm.
especially with the opening shot where it is Yuga, Neil, Roa, and Asana, and then it leads into Otis,
Hmm.
which makes me think that those four are the confirmed to be four of the seven that YuGiOh Sevens likes referencing so much. Um,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still going with my theory. I have a working theory that Ethan knows about. My working theory is that the Otis and the president of the Goha Corporation are the same people. It's all just a ploy to make Rushdall seem more popular. Let me bring up my notes because I did this. Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about another theory that someone else had that I thought was interesting as well.
Okay. So here's what I was thinking. But yeah, because if Otis was the president of Goha, so that means he's the one that was like, I don't want Rushdall to be a thing. So he did it to help deflame the fans of Rushdall, because I think most of its player base are going to be younger people, and then those
Hmm.
younger people are like, I don't want to listen to the rules, man, and then it makes Rushdall seem more exciting because they're rule breaking at the same time, and then the reason why he chose Yuga to do it was because if a kid created the format, it would be like those kids would have a hero to look up to, like, wow, I can't believe he's the same age as me. I could be like that too. I think that's where it would be going if I wanted to believe that Otis is just doing this to make Rushall seem popular.
I mean, it's definitely a good theory. I'm not denying that. I don't personally like it personally, just because like I feel like it's very like cliche of what corporate businesses do, and I don't think Konami is that kind of company that would have let that slide. But then again, who knows? The other theory that I saw, it's not my own theory, boo, but was that what if the thing on Otis's head is another drone?
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, he never takes the mask off.
Not more drones.
I also just like that Asana is like, I hate drones that talk like humans. Like,
Yeah.
she obviously just hates that thing with a passion.
I bet you like wearing drones on your head, Ethan.
No, I think the I think the plot about the drone is interesting though,
Oh, I got them.
because like it makes sense a little bit. Cause like, why won't you change? Why does Gohan not change his mind all the time? Like, doesn't change his mind like most people do. Cause like he's programmed to hate Rushdals, at least as far as we're concerned.
Hmm.
But like, it's weird because from a business point of view, Rushdals is a good thing.
Hmm.
Like it, even though it's like an unofficial rule set, like it would make they could make so much money on something new. Like,
Yeah.
not to mention like when Neil puts in maximum summoning, it's like, oh, no one really has access to maximum summoning yet. We can make profit off maximum summons. Like
Maximum summons. Oh no. Don't make more maximum summons.
they are, because they announced the maximum pack 2. Which by the way is interesting because Asana's maximum summoning is in her archetypes reveal set. So
Hmm.
we're getting more maximums out of the 3 we've already seen. Which makes me question, is everyone gonna get maximum summons?
My money is on yes.
Then they do need something to make maximum summons better.
Agreeable.
Because they're currently unplayable. All they need is like a spell card or something that's just like, oh, reveal a maximum card in your hand and then add another maximum card. That's all they need. Just simple generic.
Yeah.
And then when then it helps them go from having 2 pieces and trying to dig in their deck for the last piece to now we've got all 3 pieces because they're not too overpowered
Hmm.
because they still treat it as one monster. So effects like Royal Demon's Invasions can just destroy maximum summons with the greatest of ease.
Hmm. See, proving my theory that Royal Demons is an okay deck.
It is definitely okay. I'd say it's rogue at best.
Implying there's even
Like,
a meta yet.
there is. With 3 packs in, we have a meta. We have dragons and wind warriors.
Wind Warriors came in that pack shit.
Yeah, because they just finished the current set with all of the new up to date stuff.
Oh yeah, by the way, my favorite character in Sevens so far is Tiger.
Tiger is amazing,
I like I just like how intense she is. And I'm like, yeah,
but also
you do
she's
you.
still she's also just still like mature as well.
Yeah.
Like she isn't just like over the top like Rook is being like immature and idiotic. Like she is like over the top, but she is still mature. It's
Yeah. I know, I like the fact that she's like like she found a way to evolve her martial arts and it was wind instruments and we're like, oh that's pretty funny.
I mean it works because it's lung capacity.
Yeah, I found it pretty funny.
Uh, it's good. Now let's get on to the actual meat of this discussion, the current episode, this week's episode.
Hmm.
Can I just say for context, I don't watch the previews, right? But after this episode, I watched the preview just to make sure that the next episode is what I think it is, because this episode was trash.
Mm-hmm.
This did nothing for the plot. Um, it was it was just fooling around. It felt like filler.
Hmm.
It really did. You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's Jesus. Why do?
I mean, here's the thing. I like that they didn't just forget that Ranze likes Yuga.
Yeah,
Like, I'm glad that they did at least come back to that, but like, it's just really not the greatest part of the season to do that. Like, wait till they beat Asana and then come back to it. But like, nope, it happens. It happened. It's just it's just weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
I don't like this episode. This episode is definitely one of the worst episodes in the series, and we had gold digging cards back in season 1.
Gold
Like,
digging.
like I enjoy I enjoy Ronze and her character, but like at the same time, it just really didn't feel like it needed to be here
Yeah.
because they could have really just thrown out anyone and called them a Goha, um, Goha 6 student, whatever, and they could have fought Yuga and that. But no, we had this, and we also almost had a tag duel,
Yeah.
which I was very upset about because we got basically a tag duel got sidelined for this.
Yeah. the fuck?
So like, it's very upsetting.
What do you
On
mean it
the
was
right
pretty
side,
upsetting? It was upsetting.
and it's just. I'm glad that next episode we actually go back to the plot.
Better
I
be.
actually watched the preview. The
Oh, thank God.
matchup is Rook versus Swartzer or whatever his name is. He or she. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know who he is anymore. Like,
I don't
I'm
want to
like,
acknowledge him anymore.
well, no. Here's the thing. We don't even know his character. Let's be fair. Like, what do we know that outside of that he's over dramatic?
Uh, 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 he likes saying
Yeah,
schwa.
that's part of the over dramatic.
He
Yeah, you
has a
see,
pigeon.
that's not part of his character though, is it?
Yes, it is. He has a pigeon. Who else has a pigeon in the show?
I mean, Yoshio has a dog.
That doesn't matter. That's not a pigeon.
It's just I'm glad we're going back to the plot, but at the same time I'm really confused. Like, who is he? I've seen him do nothing in this show so far. Like,
He's a guy
he
with a
didn't.
pigeon.
He spoke once when they crushed the Rushduel tournament, Dark Rushduels or whatever place. Like, he said one line, and I think that was Schwarzer. Um, and then until this episode, he hasn't spoken since. No, he's spoken like a few times, but like I don't know his character enough to really care. Like, can you agree that Gallant we care about because he is a
Yeah, he's a
loyal
cool dude. I like him.
exactly. But like this guy, I have no idea who he is, and I'm just glad it's Rook fighting him though because Rook will actually make it funny. Because let's be fair, like we're looking at a board versus all the characters. Gakuto would be too serious. Roman would just get angry. Yuga is Yuga and just smiles all the time during duels. But then Rook at least would just be an idiot and at
Yeah.
least make the
I,
duel
f-
enjoyable.
I feel like his idiocy has been increased as the series is going.
Yes, I really do think that as well. I don't know. I want to say that like, well, I don't know. They haven't really explained his idiocy at, at the moment because like, yes, we all know he's an idiot, but like, why?
Yeah, why is he the idiot? Why
Like,
don't I get to be the idiot?
like you compare them to like, just we'll ignore Yuga because Yuga is extremely smart and is clearly smarter than everyone in the cast outside of Neil and Asana. Um, you compare him to Rook and Gakuto. Like, Rook and Gakuto aren't exactly mature, but they're at least sensible. But then you look at Rook, he's just a flat out idiot.
Heh,
So,
idiot.
he is. Like, even
Yeah.
if you compare it to his sister, he's just so low. It's just, it's insane. Not even those one-off side characters and that like never appeared again. They all weren't as idiotic as he is. Like,
Yeah,
no one
idiot.
is even. Literally, he's part of the main cast. He's the biggest idiot of all of them. I mean, don't get me wrong, though. He has some great character moments, though.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a, I want to say that I want to actually new theory. Rook has some sort of mental condition.
I don't want to acknowledge that one.
Well, the only thing he's good at is dueling, and then he's a complete idiot every other time. So autism or maybe brain damage.
Eh. Selective stupidity.
Oh well.
Alright, good. Alright, now we can talk about Princess Connect. Now start your rant about Princess Connect. Because I feel like
So
it's important.
for anyone who doesn't know,
Oh,
so
I did know. I do now.
you don't know now, but like for anyone who didn't know, Princess Connect actually kind of had some sort of censorship. Now you're probably wondering, oh, is it like some of the more revealing clothes covered up? No, dialogue censorship.
No, no, not story censorship.
Except it's kind of worse because
Yes.
it's not just like censoring a violent part, it's censoring a character's personality.
Oh,
Like
God.
they changed their lines. Okay, I can't remember where it was, and I don't have a screenshot for this because I can't find it again. But they changed basically someone's personality from being just, generic bland anime girl to a southern, like almost Brooklyn
Is this the
character.
llama?
I'm not sure. I don't know the characters off by heart.
I feel
I
this
guess
feels like deja vu. Like as soon as I said, "Is this the llama?" I just went, "Wait a minute, didn't I say this before?"
maybe you might have said it to me when we first talked about it, but point being, like, why? Why did they have to change it? Like, literally, there's nothing bad about the character's personality. Like, yes, it's generic anime person, fine. That's how people like their gacha games, is just bland and generic characters, right?
Hmm.
So why did they change it to a southern Brooklyn accent?
To be honest, I don't even have the voice acting turned on, so I won't know which character has the South. And it's probably gonna be one of the Elizabeth Park Guild girls, though.
I don't know. I just,
It's probably the llama.
I just don't understand it. I mean, and I mean, it's not just, this isn't exactly just like an isolated incident. A lot of dubbing companies and the subbing companies have been doing this now when they've changed people's dialogue for a distant personality, and it's not the character that I'm trying. Like my whole thing with why I don't play Princess Connect is because of this. Because I'm not going to get the real experience. I might hate a character because their dialogue changes, but when I play the original, it would have been, oh, I'm okay with them. Like I I really don't get it. As I'm quoting Team 4 Star here, and when they dubbed Hells, like yes, there is a level of reappropriation, changing some of the jokes and things to be fit a Western audience. That makes sense. But straight up just changing someone's personality, not even just their accent, their personality, is so bizarre to me. You know,
Hmm.
it's it's straight. This is why I call it censorship because it's straight up just changing something. It's not even changing something to fit a better audience. It's just removing the original intent. That's all it is. There's no benefit to doing this. I don't mind if they have an accent. That's fine. But when you change their personality type, that's wrong, right?
Hmm.
It's like if I were to wake up and they dub YuGiOh Sevens, because we were just talking about that, and they changed Gakuto's personality into something else, the dynamic won't work anymore. It's a completely different dynamic. So why? I don't know. This seems to be like an overarching issue and problems that just branch off the whole like Crunchyroll and Funimation have too much power thing because they really do. They change dialogue all the time. They put in their own political agendas into anime, and it's why a lot of Japanese creators are just stop giving them to dubbing companies. So there's a bunch of people who will never be able to watch the the um the anime they love because Japanese creators are just looking at what the Westerners are doing to their creations and being like, no, you're bastardizing it and you can't have it. It's it's just sad. it
Hmm.
makes you really upset, especially as an anime fan. Because like it's hard to articulate how I feel about this whole thing. Because like I do enjoy Japanese stereotypes and stuff like that, and I can get some of their jokes that are in Japanese, and like I understand why people it gets changed for a Western audience. I understand that, but like when you change a character's personality, it's not the same. You know, especially since anime has very much an expressionist format. It always really has been. So like to sideline the intent of a show to change it for a corporate business's, you know, ideals, it's just wrong. That is, I think, the end of that because I feel very depressed now.
No. Okay. Yeah, I felt like that was necessary to bring up on the podcast anyway. So
I mean, I want to talk about it anyway. So it's it's definitely something I was gonna bring be brought up one way or another. It's just makes me sad. It doesn't
sad
make me
feet.
mad. It makes me sad because getting angry isn't gonna do anything. It just makes me sad because I enjoy these things
Mhm.
and like to have them be ripped away from people unsuspectingly, and then when they're told that their experiences are completely different to someone else's because some corporate decided that that's what they wanted to do. It's just sad. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to something else.
Well, I guess we can talk about the. You know what? No, no, now you made me don't want to talk about Princess Connect. Um,
I'm going to talk about the YCC.
it's the YCC. So you may notice we didn't go through the second one, maybe because no one showed up,
Yeah, it wasn't just like, hey,
including Ethan. Ethan didn't want to show up. That's how bad it
I had
was.
a, I had, no,
I was
I had,
joking. I was making a joke. I know you had a good reason, which was work.
yeah, well, it wasn't that I had to work at the same time. It was like I had night shift the day before. So it's like, not to mention, like, we were starting at 3 o'clock for me. So we were
Hmm.
going to probably end up at 10 o'clock at night. It's like, it's just not going to happen.
Hmm.
And then, like, literally no one showed up. We had people sign up, but they didn't show up.
Yeah.
Like, so what we've decided to do is we're going to run exhibition matches
Yes.
instead, hyping up the format and then jumping in
Yeah.
to a tournament again, hopefully. Um, I did kind of sit down and think about this though, as some rules that we could implement for the exhibition matches.
Hmm.
Um, 10 straight win, 10 straight wins with a deck in a row means banning something. Do you agree to that?
Yeah, that's actually a good rule. I was actually thinking of more rules for the exhibition matches too.
Yeah, I mean, format wise, we have most of the rules down packed and stuff like that. It's just like minor things so that we can balance it while we're doing these exhibition matches.
Yeah. I was thinking because if we're doing exhibition matches, I obviously each round is going to be a best of three, but what if we also made a first to three?
A first to three?
Yeah. Like okay, so it's like so you know how in fighter games there's like two matches, and then if you win that whole match, that's a game. But in order to win the whole set, you need to win at least two games.
Ah,
Yes. So like that.
I mean, we could do it like that.
And then
I don't.
and no, another alteration we can do to this is that they can bring up to three different decks to bring
Ah,
into a
that way
set.
we can experiment with more than one thing at a time.
Yeah, so it's like, well, obviously, if you lose the first set of games, the first game in that set, you obviously don't want to be playing the same deck. So you probably want to bring in a different deck.
It's true. I mean, okay, so our idea of having these exhibition matches, though, we have like 4 people, right?
Yeah.
Well, we could also make it a point system as well, just to have a tally up of who's currently building the better decks. I want to say,
Yeah.
just for like a little fun competition on the side while we're doing these exhibition matches to hype up the format.
Hmm.
So I don't know. We're gonna have to sit down and think more about this, but like definitely all the suggestions on the table are good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I think I know my 3 decks I'm gonna bring, which is like gonna be like I'm gonna probably bring a somewhat competent deck, a time thief deck, and then a very serious stun deck.
I'm I have 2 decks that I want to play at the moment. I will have to think of a third one. I might have to modify something I already have because it's close to being legal in our format. Just needs some updated with the hand traps and things.
Hmm,
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And we'll definitely talk to other people about that. Which reminds me, Gilkey probably won't be able to do the exhibition matches.
good. Wait, no, that's bad. What am I saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because he's been working non-stop lately.
He
That's
wants
why
that
we
new
had.
computer.
Well, we're going tomorrow to sort that out.
Oh, new computer! Yay!
So the new computer's coming. It's just like he's been given like back-to-back shifts, like all of last week, and it was like I was wondering why he was not online as often. Like, it's annoying. I mean, Jack's definitely interested. He likes the format.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Lockie in here if he's not
Or
too
I
busy.
can, I'll just ask around on the Discord. Let me just yeah. But yes, we'll look into doing that again. We'll have to set up exhibition match rules. Hmm.
Yes. I mean, I mean, again, I like your set thing with the 3 decks. I do like that. I just don't know how it will work for video format.
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
my
I,
is my thing. Like, do we have like for the 2 matches that are going on? Do we just upload them as separate videos,
yeah, I would do that.
or do we do a highlight reel?
I would upload them as 2 separate VODs.
Mm. So we'll have to sort that out with the people involved. Um, and then we also have to sort out in minor rules like
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
Yes, we will. I guess that's everything.
For now.
Yes, now we talk about our channels. Um, so yes, my channel. Um, yeah, pretty much outside of like the new Time Thief video that's obviously gonna be coming out later this week. I'm gonna just not really upload much. I'm still waiting for the last character reveal for GG Strive so I can start editing that video. And then I've already got like the Rushdall script done for the next Gimmicky Tech video. And then I've already started Ritual Beast.
Yeah, I mean my channel I'm just been doing Borderlands because I mean it's just easier and I think it's not like I'm not getting views or anything from it. It's just I need to find a better way to advertise myself.
Yeah,
I think because like y you have the Discord. Like
which
I've been
barely does anything.
not this Discord.
Oh, that one barely does anything for me as well.
Oh well, whatever. It doesn't matter. I need to find viewers some
Hmm.
way. Maybe I'll reawaken my Twitter.
Yes, you should use your Twitter and then follow him at Twitter. Also, you should subscribe to me on Patreon. I don't like the fact I have to plug my Patreon.
Oh, it feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's because it's like I'm asking for money, and it's like that's not why I wanted to start doing Yu-Gi-Oh. But at the same time, I kind of want money so I can improve the channel.
It's sort of this double dilemma. Like you feel bad by doing it, but at the same time you need to do it.
Yeah,
So it's like,
it's essential. You need to do it.
mm, yes. Well, I mean, sure we could probably when we get to the actual YCC video, we can probably introduce the rules
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
And
So yeah, so we have to sort that out. Wait. How do we move from my Patreon to the YCC?
back to the YCC because I just thought about it
Okay then.
then.
I guess I could add that as a tier. No, who could care? But yes, remember one of the tiers on my Patreon, where if you pay me $2 a month, you get the ability to ask questions for the end of the podcast.
Don't
So
tell me someone already has.
no, this because no one's paying for it yet. It's just like I'm also working. If you pay $5, I'm been uploading a lot of my scripts and my what my pretty much completed scripts and exclusive reviews, which right now is just my back pile of reviews I have sitting in there. So yeah, they'll just
Uh,
be on the Patreon if you want to pay $5 a month to read my shared opinion about mainly manga. Yes, but yeah, I do
that
put
works.
up scripts on there. I think I got another script scheduled to upload next week.
Okay, so you've been regularly uploading them.
Yes, it's been mainly scripts right now. I might start uploading 'cause at some point. I want to move away from just doing any plays videos. So I think after I upload the Security Force video, any future Immediate Plays videos, I'll just make it as a Patreon exclusive, which,
Ooh,
or,
that's
or at least make it like it's a 1 week exclusive on the Patreon.
that works.
Yeah, that works. Yep.
We're 1 week earlier, and then that means like people who are on your YouTube before that still stick around, but
Yeah, but because I feel like because I talked this with Ethan before about how I want to get into rigging, and that means I'm doing shutdown work, and shutdowns can go for very long periods of time. So I was
yeah,
thinking if I did that, I wouldn't really be able to do like the consistent videos I do with stuff like any plays. I would only be able to do stuff like my scripts or even let's plays, because that would be more worth my time then between those periods, because that's something that justifies the long wait times. So once I start doing that, I'm gonna have to move away from doing the Eat Plays videos and focus on more edited content. So it'll be
yeah,
more occasional things. So I think if people wanted something of that nature, they could just pay $2 a month, and then if I do make one, they have it a week earlier.
yeah. I guess I don't know. It's weird.
Hmm.
We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's the end of the episode.
You did even plug. Oh, you did plug your channel. Never mind. Nearly falsely accused you of something.
You did nearly do that
Yeah. I plug your channel.
again.
Yes.
I'm StampE from StampE and Co.
Yes. And I'm DXD of the bigender. That sounds weird. DXD of the bigender.
Oh yes, you wanna tell them my new nickname that you gave me?
Ethan, the dungeon stampy. I don't know. I just thought, but because it's from when I uploaded the YuGiOh Triathlon. It's just I was like, I need to make a name for Stampy. Well, let's see. He's a DM, but I can't call him Stampy the Dungeon Master. Okay, well, why don't we just call him Stampy the Dungeon? I'm like, yeah, that sounds funny.
Dungeon is such a killer name. Like someone who's nicknamed the Dungeon.
The
Like
Dungeon
it's such an intimidating name.
makes you sound like you play Stun.
It does. Great.
Ethan
Uh,
the Dungeon Stampy. Oh god,
has such a nice ring to it.
Ethan the Dungeon Stampy.
Uh, you did this, by the way. This is
I
your
know.
fault.
I like that. I did something productive for once.
I'm gonna use the dungeon whenever I sign up for a tournament. Just like, oh, what's your name? Ethan brackets the dungeon stamp.
That's like your new Smash name when you go to Smash tournaments or something. I don't.
I don't know. Even better. It's my name for the medieval tournament.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Felix would definitely call me that over the PA.
Ethan, the dungeon stampede, can you please come over and pick up your fries?
No. Or Ethan the Dungeon Stamp versus whoever. I would I would I would I would rock that name.
Yes, you would.
I'm gonna get a jacket and have it
Yeah,
put on the
just
back.
yeah, just the dungeon.
No. I when we get jackets for the Yu-Gi-Oh Club at some point, I'll put it on my back. Just a little Karibo with Ethan the Dungeon Stamp underneath.
Ethan, this dungeon stamp.
Like it's such a polar opposite message. Great.
Ethan, the dungeon stamp. Uh,
I will have to find a deck that fits that name now.
it would have to be a stun deck. Oh, what's a deck that has like? There's not a deck that would fit that theme.
No, there isn't, and it's sad. I will find something.
There has to be
Just,
something. You just play Lava Golem. It's fine. There's your deck. Your new thing is the fact that you just put Lava Golem in everything.
I mean, it's a level 8. It would work in some of my decks.
I mean, Layer is dark like a dungeon.
Ah, yes, I'll make a layered stun.
Hmm. Yes. So you should watch my Layer video. Look at that. I made a segue. Go me.
Oh, you accidentally making segues.
Yeah. Look at me.
Except-
A segue to my most popular episode of Gimmicky Tech.
Which I also made a segue to this podcast a week early.
Yes.
Well, technically, it's a week early for me, for us, but like it's like 2 weeks late for you guys. So,
It's kind of sad that like I peaked so early into the Gimmicky Tech series, and nothing will reach that level.
no, because you picked such a good themes to start off with.
What do you mean?
Because,
Layer
like,
isn't that
okay,
good.
Layer is popular though.
Bullshit. No one's playing it.
No one's playing it, but everyone likes it.
How can you like it if you don't play it?
Because you can like the theme, the design, the idea of mixing the tribute summons with special summons, and all this other gimmicky fun.
You're making no sense.
You make no sense.
You make no sense.
When's the Madolce video?
Never. I hate that goddamn deck.
It's so popular right now. People are trying to make it rogue.
Yeah,
Or
well,
at least never.
Graze Keepers are popular. Do you see my Graze Keepers video doing anything?
Okay, fair.
Yeah, 132 views in 6 months. The Witchcraft video. I don't know why. The Witchcraft video just popped all of a sudden.
Yes, because Witchcrafter is again popular. I
How?
met like I met like 3 of them the other day.
What? They're not even that good at being meta. What?
Yes, but I found 3 Witchcrafter players.
I'm the Witchcraft player. How dare you mingle?
I didn't. I literally
Mingle.
was like, ah, this is Zane's conversation.
You took my conversation. You should have just segued them into my Witchcraft video.
Oh no, here's the thing though, like I was just sort of caught up in it. The third, like, because you know who the third one of them was? It was Deacon.
Oh yeah, cause it's Deacon.
And so the Deacon and the other 2 were having a conversation. I just kind of got wrapped into it because I was there. So, you know, that's life, I guess.
Yeah. Only if you weren't. Hey, my friend has this very informal video on Witchcrafters. You should probably watch it.
I
And
could
then,
have. I
and then
didn't.
damn it.
But do you think I promote my videos like that?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Oh, I do. Sometimes I just go to locals and there's guys like talking about Leia, and then I go, oh yeah, I like to play Leia, and then I just start quoting the video.
I feel like you're just giving him the video, but in verbal format.
Yeah, but I'm like, well, and then if it, like in like when it's like round end, I'm like, oh well, if you want to learn more about layer, I have a video, and then I just like send him the link.
Hmm.
I like
Maybe
layer.
maybe I should do that. I don't know.
Hmm.
I also just don't want to spam.
I
Like,
just I just realized the last 10 minutes, my recording has been recording my Boojin deck list. Ah, Boojin. Anyway,
yes, we stand.
yes, we should end.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yes, goodbye.